Great, I am live. Welcome everybody who's on the recording. Please let me know how you're doing today. Let's see who I can invite along to join me here live. So today I'm going to talk about our sacral chakra as our key to pleasure and flow and being the woman that we want to be. We're going to look into what an overbalanced and an overactive and an underactive chakra looks like for the sacral chakra, so you can know where you are at, and then I'm going to show you really cool ways of how to balancing that. So let's see if somebody's gonna join me here live. If not, that's also completely fine. I'm still trying to figure out what the best time is for everybody for the weekly live shows here. Friday 1 p.m. I think is not the best time for most of you in the US since it's very early morning for you. So do let me know, please. I put a poll up in the group because I want this to work for everybody. It's just nicer when everybody can be live. If you haven't watched the live about the root chakra yet, where I showed you how to use your root chakra as your key to feel safe and be healthy and wealthy, then you can do that right here in our women's circle. Just type, like root chakra into the search function and it will pop up for you. And it's also on my YouTube channel, Lilith Moon Shamanic Yoga. I see some people are live, but I cannot see any comments. So if you're here, do let me know. Now comments are coming. Hi Emma, how are you doing today? I really look forward to diving in here and sharing what I know about the sacral chakra. It's really one of the key chakras for us as women, so that we can really feel, like really enjoy who we are as women. And at the end, what we're also going to do is I'm going to talk to you about the transformation, my signature program, because I really see the situation that we're going through at the moment, the global crisis. The solution to it is that each one of us finds their way back home to themselves and really starts to create their reality from the inside out. And that's exactly what I teach. I mean, imagine if each of us could access higher consciousness and source, and from that, our world would just be, lit up and all of our troubles would disappear, because all the problems that we have, personally and as a collective are just a manifestation of a lack of love. And, love for others and our planet starts with self-love, and then starts with self-awareness. And the key to that is knowing how to access higher consciousness, which I teach by teaching you shamanic journeying. Now, we talked about this already. The corona crisis is really ridding our planet of lower vibrations. And the more you can anchor yourself in higher vibrations, the more you will thrive in these times. So I hope that many of you are going to join in the transformation, since it's simply the easiest, most enjoyable way to learn and practice. But more about that later. What I want to start with is a quick overview of the chakra system. Our chakra system consists of 7 chakras, and they are energy centers located along the spine. And they are amazing to work with because we can work with them on the physical, mental, and emotional plane, and that in turn will activate the soul level of our existence. So on a physical level, they correspond to a specific place in the body. On a mental level, we can just concentrate on the chakra that we're working with, using the color that's associated with it. And on the emotional plane, we can feel into the issues that we are experiencing that are associated with that chakra. So you see that, they are really an amazing way for us to work on our stuff holistically, addressing all levels of our being, because that's really, the only way to really heal whatever is going on with us, since the issue is always present on all levels: body, mind, heart, and soul. Emma, how are you doing today? Good. So, in working with the chakras, our aim is really to balance them, because overactive or underactive chakras cause us problems. Most people in our contemporary societies have an overactive first and second chakra, and sometimes also the third. And the other 4 to 5 are just mostly underactive. They're dormant. And that really corresponds to unused potential. But then there are also people like me, and maybe you, if you're in the circle too, who have very active higher chakras and not so active lower chakras. So for me, it's really, I have to constantly strengthen, especially my first chakra, to really remain grounded here in this earthly plane and not float off somewhere into the spirit world. But since I became a mother, that's a lot easier. A child can really do wonders to ground you. So what we want is to activate all of the chakras evenly, so that our energy can flow freely throughout our whole system and flow from the lowest up to the highest chakra and give us access to higher consciousness, while we remain, grounded in our bodies here in the physical plane of existence at the same time. Good. Any questions so far? This is a rather complex topic, but I think I don't want to go too deep into it if there are not any questions about it, because I really want to focus on the sacral chakra here. But if you do have questions, do let me know. I made myself an iced coffee. It's getting very summery here in Austria, which is very nice. Good, so let's dive in. If you have questions, everybody on the recording, just pop them into the comments. I'll get back to you there and then. Now, the second chakra is called the Sacral Chakra, and it's called Swadhisthana in Sanskrit. And this chakra is situated at the clitoris for us women. So needless to say that it's all about our sexual well-being, about pleasure, about being in touch with our sensuality and our passion. And this chakra connects us to the feminine aspects of our being, to our womanhood. It invites us to nourish, the yin energy, the receptive, creative energy. So let's dive in with what it looks like when your sacral chakra is underactive, when it's not active enough. Okay, so do feel into if this is you. So if your sacral chakra is not activated enough, then your life might feel monotonous and dull. Not all of these have to be true for you, by the way, but definitely some of them. Then you might, often feel flat, like you're just going through the motions. There might not be any juice in your life, no pleasurable flow to it all. You might experience excuse me, dear. You might experience like sexual problems of one kind or another. You might not be able to experience a lot of physical pleasure. You might struggle with intimacy. Your body might feel rather rigid, stiff. You might find it difficult to be creative. You might lack vision, like vision for your life. And you might do work that you don't feel passionate about. You might not have any other great passions in your life either, not a great outlet for your creativity. And you might also struggle to find your purpose. So let me know if you recognize yourselves here. It's a very quiet life today, huh? I really think I need to change the timing of this, but it's okay. You can all watch it on the recording. Good. So if this is you, if you recognize yourself here, if your sacral chakra is underactive, then here are some practical tips and tricks and practices that you can do. So dancing. Dancing is absolutely key here, and not in a structured way like ballet or jazz dance or something like that. Nothing that uses choreography, but just listening to music and really letting the music flow through you, closing your eyes, moving your body to the music without any need to without thinking about what it looks like. It's all about the feeling. And yeah, I mean, this might, if you're not used to doing that, at the beginning it might feel weird. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I promise this can be so enjoyable. Like, I absolutely love dancing it out. I do that quite a lot. And it really does wonders to raise my vibe. Yeah, so this can really help you to relax into the flow of your body and the flow of life in general. Get your juices flowing, so to say. And this is the perfect lead-in for the next tip that you can do. Create a self-pleasuring practice. Many people think that self-pleasuring is something that you do out of necessity when you're single. But that's a really sad way of thinking about it, because self-pleasuring is all about connecting to yourself on the physical plane. It's about enjoying yourself through your senses, about feeling alive, and it's completely independent of whether you're in a relationship or not. So to start experimenting with this, just take some time when you lie in bed before sleeping to touch yourself in any way that feels good, anywhere that feels good. So orgasm is not a goal here. There shouldn't be any goal apart from becoming present with yourself and your senses and doing whatever feels good, okay? So if this is a big step for you, then you can simply start by stroking your arms lovingly or something like that. And of course, if you want to go a step further, then you might think about getting a yoni egg. I love my jade egg. And this is really about self-discovery and nourishing your womanhood in any way that feels good. Do let me know if you have questions about that. And then something else that you can do to activate your sacral chakra is get more in touch with water. The element of the sacral chakra is water. So you can bathe, take nice foamy baths in the bathtub, or you can swim outside in the river, in the ocean. You could also create your own water ritual, whatever that might look like for you. And definitely drink lots of water. That's always good advice. And then what's also amazing is, really consciously connecting to your womanhood. And you can do that in so many different ways. For example, what I love doing, which is why I'm wearing this, I actually wanted to wear the color orange for you, since in the last live about the root chakra I was wearing red to represent the color of the chakra, but I absolutely have nothing orange to wear. It's really not a very flattering color for most white women. So I wore something flowy instead. So like something that makes you feel sensual. Like wearing dresses or skirts and whatever that makes you feel that way. What you can also do is just make a list of everything that you love about being a woman, and then think about how you can express just that more. And another really good practice is let things come to you instead of chasing them. So practice a queen's poise. The sacral chakra is all about, learning how to receive. So lean back, relax into yourself, and just expect the world to deliver to you what you need and what you deserve. And there's really different ways that you can do that. Like what I like to do whenever, for example, my son is demanding something of me, I just remind him that he can ask, that he could do the same for me, for example, you know, these kinds of things. And he always loves doing that for me. Whenever I do something for him, I ask him to do something else for me. And that's a really good way to just, you know, yeah, lean into this receptive energy, because we women are such givers. We give all the time, and then we end up depleted and angry at the world, and we don't want that. So just practice receiving. Another thing that I love doing is asking myself the question, what would feel good now? We are often so much in our heads, and we're like, this is what I need to do, or that is what I need to do, you know, and we don't come from a place of, well, what will feel good now? Because we have, you know, in our minds, it's like, oh, this has to happen now, and this has to happen now, and it's often not like that. Often, you know, we're just running from one activity to the other, and, you know, that's not giving a lot of space to flow, to natural flow to occur in our lives. So I find that if I focus on what feels good, the right things happen at the right time. And then it's not just about getting things done, but for things to happen in the right way that is serving me the most, that is serving the people around me the most, and that is also serving the greater good. So what you can do is just write what will feel good now on a post-it, or many post-its, and just put it all over the place. What you might also want to do if you have an underactive sacral chakra is engage in a creative project. Like, when was the last time you did something really creative, just purely for the fun of it? Think about that. Think about what you used to love doing. Now, for me, for example, I used to paint and draw a lot when I was younger, and I was quite good at it. And I just stopped at some point. Both of my brothers are really artists, so I think like part of me felt like, oh my god, they're so good, I'm never gonna be that good. But now I'm completely over that. I found my calling, they found their calling, and I feel like I can just go back to, you know, what I enjoyed so much about it. For me, it's such a beautiful way of getting lost in the moment and completely getting out of my head. So this weekend, actually, I have a project of making a big painting of a rose. You all know that the symbol of my business is a pink rose. So yeah. So what is that for you? What could your pleasurable creative project be? For all of us busy mamas who are at home with their children at the moment, this can absolutely be something that you can do with your little ones. Okay? So what else? Yeah, the last thing that you can that I want to share with you that you can do with an underactive sacral chakra is, if you lack purpose in your life, do some soul searching. If you feel like, you know, you don't really know where your life is going, you haven't found your calling, do some soul searching here. Really make an intention that you're gonna find that purpose, that you're gonna find your calling, because this is just, I mean, for me, this is one of the things that made my life the most amazing, you know, that I was missing before, was, you know, having found my calling, doing what I love every day, knowing that I serve people with what I do. This is so important to me. It makes you feel, you know, so needed and at the right place at the right time. You know, I was talking to an older woman who I saw walk by me while I was outside with my son playing on the grass, and she was so sad because now, you know, with Corona, she's completely isolated, and she says the worst thing about it for her is the feeling that she's not needed. You know, why is she even here? What is her purpose? And that reminded me of how grateful I am that I get to be of service to so many people. So if this is not something that you have in your life, definitely do some soul searching, whatever way you love doing that. And I will show you later how you can do that with me if you want to. Good, so let me know in the comments if this was helpful and if you have any questions. And you know, like, I want these trainings that I do for you to really move you into action. So if you found one of the tips that I shared with you really helpful, pop it in the comments and let me know how you're going to implement it. You can also get a supporting sister in our circle who can help you really following through, hold you lovingly accountable to it. Good, and then let's dive in with what it might look like in your life if your sacral chakra is too active. So in that case, you might find yourself living in constant emotional drama, especially in your love relationships. You might experience frequent, intense mood swings. You might be excessively oversensitive, and you might also try to hide that with a overly confident attitude. And you might have intense cravings for pleasure. Your sex life might be ruling every aspect of your life. And you might just always want to be the center of attention. So who feels spoken to you here? This was definitely me when I was younger. You know, I was like ages 16 to 18, I would say. That was definitely me. But moving to Monaco was a cure. With all the superficial people running around, that made me really turn in a completely different direction. And yeah, that's when I had my first big spiritual awakening when I was 18. Happened right there. So if this is the case for you, if you have an overactive sacral chakra, then you should focus your efforts on moving some of this excess energy upwards to the other chakras. So we need to do this step by step. So start by focusing on moving it upwards to the solar plexus chakra first. And once you've done that, you can move further on towards the heart chakra, because that's where you really need to focus on in the end, on opening your heart, on healing your heart. Often when we live our sexuality in this very visible, very loud way, then there is a wounded heart somewhere that needs to be tended to and then connected to your sexuality. And I know that for many women, this is absolutely the case, that our sexuality and our emotional life, they're sort of disconnected from each other. So what you can do here to balance your sacral chakra is you can practice centering yourself in your heart space, okay? Especially before engaging in any sexual activity. And you have my practice right here in the circle, out of the mind into the heart, which is a really good way that you can start this work. What's also good is to create some quiet time to think about your sexual history and your relationship history, and to find out where the wounds are, to find out how to honor these stories and how to heal the wounds. And then what you can also do is, like I said, to draw some of that fierce orange energy upwards into your upper chakras. For example, you know, while you breathe in, just imagine that your breath is pulling this energy upwards into your solar plexus chakra, and then, if you can, even higher into your heart chakra. So let me know in the comments if these tips and tricks were helpful, if you have any questions. Second Emma joined us here. How are you doing, Emma? So balancing the sacral chakra is really about finding the flow, the passion, and the pleasure in your life, and laying the foundation for your personal power and emotional well-being. Now, here's a general practice that you can use, whether your second chakra is overactive or inactive, or underactive. No chakra is completely inactive, otherwise we'd be dead. So as you do your yoga practice, whether that is an asana practice, a pranayama practice, a meditation practice, just focus your mind on your sacrum, or rather, I would say even on your clitoris, and just see a ball of orange light there, you know, glowing evenly. And if you feel like, you know, it's glowing very strongly, if you have an overactive sacral chakra, then just imagine that you're cooling it down a little bit with your breath. And if you see that it's, you know, if you can feel that it's not active enough, just really feel like, you know, you're energizing it, whatever way you want to do that, with your breath and just seeing the colors intensify. There's so many ways that we can work with energy. Now, the best way to start working with your chakras is to start at the first chakra, the root chakra, and work your way up. You know, letting your energy rise chakra by chakra. So if you haven't watched the live that I did about the root chakra, then do it before starting your work on the sacral chakra. Emma, you're saying you are well. I love hearing that. So, yeah, this is also what we're going to do together inside of the transformation throughout 2020, focusing on one chakra at a time, going from the practical aspects and you know, implementing change all the way to deep healing ceremonies for each chakra. And you're also going to get a really short and sweet daily practice for each chakra. So you know, because the thing is that daily practices and new habits are absolutely the key to change, but often we can't really, we find it super hard, or we can't at all implement them before we haven't, you know, before a deep healing hasn't taken place. So shamanic healing ceremonies are super powerful, and I will hold one for the overactive sacral chakra and one for the underactive sacral chakra. I need more coffee. In 2 weeks. So if you are not a transformation member yet, you can join us now and start working with the root chakra, and then you have time to join us live for the sacral chakra healing sessions and receive your daily practice as well. I'm just gonna put the link in the comments for you. Emma, you're already a member, so you already have access to all of this. Here we go. Now in the chakra healing series, we really go from one chakra to the next so that you can dive a lot deeper with what we've talked about today and give each chakra the attention that it deserves, and keep up leveling from month to month as you slowly start to elevate your energy and yeah, and up your vibe. But this healing series is really just the cherry on the top. The transformation is a 3-month program and a complete upgrade for body, mind, heart, and soul. I'm doing my best to make it super affordable right now as well due to Corona, so it's 50% off right now. So do click the link if you're not a member yet. And the biggest highlight of the transformation, the reason why most women join it, is that I teach you shamanic journeying in it. It's humanity's oldest and most powerful healing practice and spiritual practice, and you can learn it in just 10 weeks with me, all while pampering yourself with beautiful practices, meditations, yoga, workouts, breathing practices, and rituals. You can imagine shamanic journeying like suddenly having a magic wand. You know, it means that you're able to access yourself on the deepest level, so that you can finally really understand what's going on in your life on all levels, and that you can heal body, mind, heart, and soul. And then, you know, as a second step, own your unique gifts. You know, find your purpose and step into your calling. Master manifestation. This is all connected. And I will really guide you deeply within, step by step, so that you can face your fears and transform with ease and grace, healing on the deepest level to experience more joy and fulfillment in your life, more flow, more pleasure, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. If we start to work on the deepest level, on the soul level, from there, all the other levels are taken care of, which is beautiful. And learning shamanic journeying will really help you to become a clear channel for spirit, and you know, that will lead you all the way from mastering your personal life and just loving who you are and what you do, to becoming a light to so many. And I really know that these are confusing times at the moment for most of us, and shamanic journeying is the most amazing way to access higher consciousness and understand what is really going on for you personally, for us collectively, and to feel safe and even thrive throughout these times. And once you have learned shamanic journeying, you will be able to use it all your life to have this instant connection to all of life and your personal spirit guides. And you can answer all of your questions this way, and you know, your spirit guides can help you on your path to your best life step by step. All the answers are really already inside of you. All you need is the key the key to higher consciousness in shamanic journeying is just that. So on your journeys, you will also learn how to work with your inner child, how to do shadow integrations, how to work with the feminine archetypes, how to tap into a source of infinite joy, peace, inspiration. And after that, really deep dive into yourself. You can continue with my 2-week program called Find Your Calling. So that's going to complete the 3 months, because your unique soul purpose is waiting for you to be, for you to discover it inside of you. So you can access it with ease through this program, and then work with your spirit guides to actually bring it to life. So you're really guided step by step here. You have me to hold your hand in our weekly live sessions and in our monthly new moon and full moon rituals, where you will learn how to let go of what no longer serves you and welcome into your life what you do want to experience instead. Yeah, so the transformation is also designed to fit into every schedule. The practices are powerful but short. The daily ones are as short as 10 minutes, and you can really see amazing progress in a little amount of time. So in as little as 2 hours a week. And I have been teaching this core process, this core shamanic yoga process, the transformation, for the past 2 years to over 100 women. And every one of them couldn't even have believed what this is going to do for her. This is not your usual program. Shamanic journeying is just an incredible, incredible thing. It's really our roots. We need to find back to that. And it's really the knowledge of our ancestors. And this is what is going to heal our world, that we find back to some of these old ways and use them to really navigate these modern lives that we lead. Yeah. Good. I think this is everything that I wanted to share. I will stay online a little bit longer to see if you have questions about that transformation. And I will sum up what we learned here today. We learned that your sacral chakra is your personal key to feeling in flow, to feeling passionate about your life, to healing your sexuality and your relationships, especially your relationship history as well, and to just enjoy your life and your womanhood that much more. Okay, so your task is to balance your sacral chakra. So once you have determined whether it is underactive or overactive, you just choose a daily or a weekly practice. You can use the inspiration that I have given you and make sure that it fits your needs and that it fits your schedule. If you want to work on what that could look like for you personally, then I'm happy to help. Just pop it in the comments. And if your issues go deep, then you will have to go deep with your healing efforts. And you can do that by joining us for the chakra healing sessions inside of the transformation. This program might really be the solution that you have been looking for. We all feel a calling right now to step up and learn how to contribute to a better world. And this is really it. The transformation is all about handing you the tools that you need so that you can live your life from the inside out on your terms. And when you do that, you will automatically contribute to the highest good of all. It is possible. It can even be pampering and fun and easy and affordable, because, making this kind of real life magic happen, that's my calling. And the transformation is also perfect for you if you have just completed the 5-day challenge with me for new and wannabe healers, but you're not really ready for the apprenticeship yet. Either because you're still not sure on your calling or you don't have the financial means. So the transformation is the first part of the apprenticeship. So you can still get started on this journey to becoming a healer now. So if you have questions about the transformation, just click the link that I gave you. There's my FAQ section there as well. And of course, reviews of past and present participants so that you can feel into what this could do for you. And of course, you can also send me a PM to tell me about your specific circumstances, and then I can help you find out whether it's the right fit for you or not. So thank you so much for joining me here. I hope that you got amazing insights on how to balance your sacral chakra and that you will implement them right away, because just soaking in information, in this passive way, that's not going to do you any good. So please choose a way of making sure that you balance your sacral chakra. So here's to you. Here's to all of you amazing beauties. I love you all, and I can't wait to get to know some of you better inside of the transformation. And I look forward to being live here again with you next week, and I might switch the time around to enable more of you to be here live. Lots and lots of love. Mwah. Bye bye.